what's going on, more so than other people in the play. And he knows he's drinking himself to death. And I think I think he wants to make sure that something he leaves behind is pure and good.
Wonderful. That's very nice. I wish you much success in the upcoming play. I hope a lot of people come to watch the play. And break a leg.
Thank you very
All
much,
right,
Maria.
thank you.
All right, thanks.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
Yep.
Good luck.
A good German Protestant should do all
I'm actually a good Irish Catholic, Dave. You keep calling me a German, and I'm just as much Irish as German. Yeah.
Okay, all righty. Hello.
Hi.
So now you play Josie in A Moon for the Misbegotten. Josie is from an Irish Catholic family, and your mother has passed away. And you live with your father, correct, in the play?
Right.
I noticed that in the play, your father seems to really stress the fact that you're not married and, live the straight and narrow. Why do you think Eugene O'Neill put so much emphasis on that in the play?
Well, I think there's a couple of reasons. I think the character's motivation is partly due to the fact that he's always scheming, and he wants to make sure that his daughter's looked after and taken care of when he goes. She has no one else. Her brothers have run off. Dad's there. He's her only support. It's also the time period. In the 20s, I'm playing a character who's at least in her late 20s. And in the 1920s, that would have made me a spinster.
Yeah.
I was an old maid.
Yeah, okay. And so he wants you to take advantage of the interest that James Tyrone is showing you at the time.
Right, and culturally, in Irish Catholic culture as
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
A woman of that age should have already been having her babies.
Yeah, yeah.
She should have already, been in the, barefoot and pregnant all the time.
And the women's movement didn't start until 1900s.
Well, when
so.
the play, in the 1900s or so, when this play takes place in, I think, 1923 is when he wrote it to take place. Women did have the vote. We had finally gotten the vote. But yeah, other than that, women largely had no rights. So it's not like she couldn't really own a lot. She couldn't, they didn't have credit cards then, but even in 1963, when my
you've
mother
come a
was
long
that
way.
age, she couldn't even apply for credit.
Yeah.
So, there weren't a lot of opportunities for women in that
All
time
right, well,
period.
thank you very much, and wish you much success in the play. Thank you.
you.
Yeah, thanks.
Sure. I was very scared to do this. I was the theater critic for the newspaper that I worked
Yeah.
for.
Oh,
So I
really?
was used to asking the questions, not answering them.
Oh. Yes. I'd like to introduce William Lopez. He is a professor at Mohegan Community College, and he's playing the part of Josie's father, correct?
That's correct.
And what is Josie's father's name?
Phil Hogan.
Phil Hogan. And Tyrone, Eugene O'Neill's brother, who the play is about, his love interest is your daughter, Josie. Now, in the play, you play a Irish Catholic who's very proud of the work that you've done. And I was wondering, what is the motive for the pressure that you put on your daughter. Your wife has passed away, or Josie's mother, and the pressure that you're putting on Josie to guide her in a direction that wouldn't hurt her reputation. What do you think Gene O'Neill was, thinking about at that time?
Well, before I go into that, I'd like to clarify that I teach part-time at Three Rivers College. I run the computer labs, or the computer labs at the college full-time. Now, as far as Phil Hogan goes, I have to admit that he's a very, very confusing character. He has strong pride for his daughter, for her work ethic.
Do you think it's the Irish Catholic background that makes him
The pride for a hard day's labor, I think, could extend to the Irish heritage. I saw it in my father, who was half Irish himself, and he did have quite a bit of pride over a job well done. I remember he told me that he never cared if I became
I forgot the microphone.
We can start
We're
again.
gonna have to. Okay. I'd like to introduce William Lopez. He is playing the part of Josie's father, Mr. Logan, correct?
Hogan.
Hogan.
Phil Hogan.
All right. And you also work at Mohegan Community College.
Three Rivers Community
Three
College here
Rivers
in
Community
Norwich.
College, okay.
Yes, I work as adjunct professor there and a full-time staff member there. I can run the computer labs there.
Okay. The part you play is Josie's father, and in the play, you play an Irish Catholic, and I noticed that he has a lot of pride in the work ethic. And can you tell me if being Irish Catholic in the play has to do with the overly concern for Josie's welfare, to get married, to walk the straight and narrow?
Well, I imagine that it is every father's dream that his children end up happy, successful. For an Irish Catholic, I would think that strong morals would be important and pride of a good job done.
Well, I noticed that in the play, the part that you play, the role that you play, you have property, a farm, that a wealthy tycoon is interested in purchasing. And as an Irish Catholic, you mention that Englishman, meaning the person interested in buying your farm. And as an Irish, you seem as though you resent the fact that someone is stepping in, wanting to take over your farm, the work that you've tried to so hard work for.
Well, the history of the Irish was not pretty, especially with their relationship with the English going back a long, long time ago. This Irish-American Phil Hogan, he is a tenant farmer who dreams of owning the piece of property he is on one day.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that there is a neighbor who's interested in kicking him off buying the property out from underneath him, who just happens to be an Englishman, who would definitely rub Phil Hogan the wrong way and get his ganders up.
All right, well, thank you. You play a very interesting role, and you perform wonderfully on stage. It's very interesting to watch you on stage. Your participation really adds greatly to the play. Thank you, and I wish you much success.
Thank you, dear.
Okay, thank you.
Some of us go back a really long ways. Now, Eric, who's playing Tyrone in the show, he and I have worked together. Some of us Chelsea players go back a long, long ways. We've worked together for decades. This was the first full-length play I directed for Chelsea, and Eric was one of the leads in the show, Eric, who plays Tyrone. That was also the man who's doing the designs for the program poster for our play. That was the first one he designed, Graham, for our play. Let me see, here's another one. Oh, this one, I'm going to quickly take this out to show you, because this is fabulous. This was another one of Graham's designs, another play I directed, and Eric starred in. Eric played Lenny in Of Mice and Men. Then, whoops. Okay. All right. And there, if you look to the left, there's Eric, who again is playing Tyrone in Moon, playing Lenny in Of Mice and Men. That was when we used to do our shows up at Mohegan College. And that's a great picture. Yeah, this is Eric again up here. This is still Of Mice and Men. Ken Lamott, who's the only remaining founding member of Chelsea Players. Been with them since the very beginning. I didn't start working with them until their second show. So these are all, let me see what is next, I think over here. Oh, here we are again. This was 91 maybe? I'm sorry. This is a play called A Walk in the Woods by Lee Blessing, and it's a story of two diplomats, a Russian and an American diplomat, who are at arms negotiations in Geneva, and they go for a walk in a sort of a woods, but a fairly civilized woods. And I played the American diplomat, John Honeyman, and Eric played the Russian diplomat, Andrei Botvinnik. So, and here we are in the paper, a very rare sighting of David Meyers unshaven. This one here, this is Wild West, done in, as you can see, January of 1993. Eric and I were both in this one, when neither of us did any directing, but we were in it. I played the hanging judge, and Eric was one of the barflies in this. Oh God, and these are all.
I'd like to see also the tragedy and comedy mask that you have on one of the flyers for your play, so that
Right.
you have them in the back.
Right, let me, you skipped one that I wanted to show because it was, where were we? We missed one. Okay, where is